So my name is Cera Fisher. I'm going to be talking about BDC powered by 7 Bridges, which is a platform to access, analyze, and share data. And BDC 7 Bridges is a flexible cloud-based analysis environment where you can analyze your data where it lives. That is, you can bring your analysis tools to the data rather than each researcher making her own individual copy. Using the common workflow language, BDC 7 Bridges provides over 900 cloud-optimized tools for code-free data analysis. And in addition, we have some code-forward solutions in the form of interactive analyses sessions using Jupyter Lab notebooks, RStudio in the cloud, and SAS Studio. As part of the BDC ecosystem, 7 Bridges is interoperable by design. And so I've got a link here to a great 4-minute video where Emily demonstrates how to import that cohort data from Picture directly to 7 Bridges, where you can then use it alongside multimodal data from authorized or public data sets. There are also tons of different ways to get other data into your 7 Bridges workspace, from attaching cloud buckets from Amazon, Google, and Azure, to uploading your own data directly to your projects. For consortia like HeartShare, we have developed a model of data sharing and collaboration that keeps your data secure. And this is managed through the project space. On BDC 7 Bridges, projects let you organize and disseminate data sets to collaborators using role-based permissions and data security options. I've got a full guide for consortia, for collaboration for consortia, linked here on this slide for you to review at your leisure if you want. But the key concept is this: a project on BDC 7 Bridges has an owner who holds the master permissions for the project. The owner or a delegated member can add files to the project and then also add project members, applying individual permissions. Members can then access those files. They can add apps, which are software tools, to the project for analyses, and run those apps as cloud executed tasks. This results in a hassle-free environment where authorized researchers can access the data that they need and secure protection for data that needs to be kept within the consortium. And I'm going to flip now to a live demo of the project spaces and permissions. Let me just hide my floating meeting controls. So I am already logged in to Biodata Catalyst powered by 7 Bridges. And when you first log in, what you will see is on the left-hand side, your projects that you're a member of. And on the right-hand side, you'll see a list of analyses that you or members of projects that you are a part of have been running. In order to show you these collaboration tools, I'm going to go ahead and just create a new project and walk you through how that's set up. So under the projects dropdown, I have this button, create a project. My first option is to give it I'm going to call this one HeartShare, capitalize that, HeartShare demo. And I'll pick a billing group. This is like talking about billing groups is out of scope for this demo, but we have other documentation about it. And then I have an option to pick the cloud provider location that this project is going to live on. I typically leave this as AWS, but if you had data that you wanted to access that was on an Azure volume or was on a Google volume, you would want to make your project live on that provider so that you can avoid data egress charges as you're moving from cloud service to cloud service. These other options are also out of scope for this demo, but these can be changed after the project has been created. What I want to actually draw your attention to here is under advanced settings. We have this thing called download restriction. So this is a new feature, and anywhere you see these little eyes in a black circle, this is a clickable tooltip. You can click on those and get to the extensive documentation on this particular item. But in brief, download restriction is what it sounds like. It prevents any files from being downloaded by users. So if I toggle this on, I also get a couple of other options. So we have a little bit of granular control here about how download restrictions work. We can either say that files cannot be even copied to other projects, or we can say that copying files to other projects is allowed. What that means is that an individual researcher or a research group can make their own separate project. They can copy files out of the main project. We say copy, but you're not really making a copy. You're actually just making a symbolic link to that file. But the download restrictions on those files remains in place. So even though the file is being accessed through a separate project, that file still cannot be downloaded. We can add a further level of security by applying download restrictions to the files that are generated by analyses. So here we're making sure that the input files can't be downloaded. Here we're asking that the output files also cannot be downloaded. And so these options together can create a very secure data environment where data can't leak out because a researcher downloaded it and then shared it with someone. So now that I've created this project, I'm just going to click create. This is the lockdown portion of the collaborate and share. Let me actually show you the collaboration part of it. So once we create a new project, we go to that project's dashboard. And here we are reminded, fortune cookie style, that the best research happens in teams. And we have the opportunity to invite members to this project. This is how we're going to be able to enable people to access the files and analyses that we've run. So I'm going to click invite new members. And probably the first thing I'm going to do in a new project is invite my colleague, Dave. Dave is a longtime collaborator. I trust him implicitly. And I'm actually going to delegate project administration to him. So I'm going to add admin to Dave. So Dave has writing access. He can upload files and add files. He can modify files. He has copy access. He can copy files out into other projects. And he has execute. He can run tasks. But I'm also giving him the administrative privileges of being able to manage members. So I'll invite Dave, and it adds him with this little admin tag. Let's say maybe I also have a trainee that I want to invite to this project. We'll invite Amber. And Amber is an intern, very bright, lots of potential, but is a trainee. And I want to let her access the file so that she can bring them into her own training project. But I don't want her to be able to modify any files in this project. And I don't want to let her run any tasks in this project. So I'm only giving her copy permission. And so this is what we mean when we say you can add members and give them role-based permissions. This gives you a lot of control over who is able to do what in a project. And in our consortium model, the way we often do this, or the way we often recommend that you do this, is you have one project that has data that people will take from. People are added to that project with those copy permissions, but they're copying the data into their own projects. I believe that there is actually a heart share project like that, but I would defer to my colleague Dave on that. We can maybe talk about it after the demo. That is actually the bulk of what I wanted to make sure that I showed you. We have, there's a lot of depth to the BDC 7 Bridges platform, so I'm not going to go into that depth, but we do have a playlist of onboarding videos produced by our own famous Dave Robertson. And the last thing that I do want to make sure that I show you on the platform is how to get help. So on every page on the BDC 7 Bridges platform, there's a little question mark and a blue circle at the bottom. If you click on that question mark, you get context sensitive links to documentation. So whatever page you're on, it will give you links about that page to documentation, but you can also directly contact support here. And you can just type in, help, I have made a project, or whatever you need help with. And then you can send this as an email and it will go into our ticketing system and be answered by our staff. So that is the gist of how collaboration and data protection works on BDC 7 Bridges. The other thing I want to mention is I want to sort of like hammer home the kind of support that we can offer. We have 24/7 technical support available from any page on our platform and by emailing our support team. It is true 24/7 support. They have shifts. They are located globally, so don't worry, nobody's up at 3 a.m. their time. We also have that 10-part video tutorial series that I mentioned for general onboarding. And our excellent scientific writing team have also produced extensive documentation on platform features and capabilities. But aside from these asynchronous on your own sorts of training venues, we also offer live online support in the form of biweekly office hours, twice weekly drop-in on Tuesday and Thursday to talk about whatever you want to talk about. We often end up doing a lot of demos of different features in those office hours. We also offer one-on-one coaching and platform support with me, Dave, or Phil, who are your community engagement managers. Our user education and support team, including the community engagement managers and our researcher education director, Zelia Warman, includes PhD level scientists with a combined 50+ years experience in medical and biological data analysis. We also have bioinformatics specialists that can really get into the nitty-gritty details of turning the data into knowledge. We are also happy to develop and deliver customized live hands-on training for your group. Just reach out to us and let us know what it is you would like people to learn how to do. But in short, your data is safe here and we can help you make it work for you.